Dreams come first. And each dreamer sketches on paper the car he sees in his mind's eye. These idea men work in our advanced styling studio. Their flow of ideas is given free rein and never ceases. The artist's inspiration? Perhaps a jet fighter, the wing of a bird in flight, or the eyes of some insect greatly magnified. Periodically, we screen all the drawings. The most promising ideas are carried into the next phase, a more finished airbrush drawing, and a small model that gives the idea 3 dimensions. Larger clay models are made from the designs that survive. What we're looking for at this point is a bold new style idea, an overall conception. Just the same, these 3/8 scale models are made with meticulous precision and as much detail as possible. Each one is a miniature car of the future. This must be given permanent. These models are put into a reservoir of advanced styles to be drawn out and used as we need them. You may see some of the features of these cars on the highways in the not too far distant future.
We're glad to have all the ideas we can get, because right now we're actually starting to design a new car for production. So let's get out those drafting instruments. Let's start to nail this down. Here we are. This is what we call a package drawing. Not much on looks, but it's our Bible. The overall dimensions are there, and from now on, they'll have to be respected. We've begun to work on a fixed schedule now. We're concerned with the entire outer appearance of a car that's actually going to be manufactured. And the stylists have to stay within the framework of these specifications. The artists study the specifications and come up with new designs. Tool and cost engineers study these designs, and their suggestions are incorporated into corrected scale drawings. With every detail, drawings have to be flawlessly accurate. One rendering like this makes several days to do. From these, top management selects the most appealing designs. A full-size rendering of the car's exterior is the next step. But after all, you can only tell just so much from this because it is not 3-dimensional. So what we do is build a full-size clay model of the car.
We're in the final stages of exterior styling now. And management watches this model closely to see how it shapes up. With extreme precision, the model takes form. Expert hands of the modelers work the clay into harmonious contours, the way a sculptor fashions a beautiful work of art. And when it's finally finished, the illusion of a real car is so perfect, you'd think you could open the door and step inside.
But this is just the exterior. The car of tomorrow must have new interior styling too. New fabrics for upholstery that will harmonize with the exterior. A wide range of colors to suit many tastes. The most modern textiles chosen for beauty and durability. Here again, we are thinking of the future. Fashions change, and we have to anticipate what the style trends will be several years from now. Hundreds of samples are examined and tested. And when we have finally decided what fabrics to select for our harmonious color families, you can be sure they're the best.
In another section, designers are creating a new instrument panel. It will be beautifully styled, but deceptively simple in appearance. A minimum of 40 items must be taken into account in designing panels like these. Complex electrical instruments are housed behind them, and the design must go hand in hand with electrical engineering. Modern instrument clusters have greatly complicated the engineering of a control panel, but their compactness has added to driving comfort and pleasure. Here's a new radio being tested for our car of tomorrow.
But for a lighter breakfast, and this is the kind that everyone should eat. Everyone should eat fruit, cereal.
Insulation of sound is important. The car must ride quietly. The effectiveness of sound deadening materials is tested and recorded. Measured by an electronic device so sensitive, a handkerchief will affect it. Spark plugs and wiring are tested underwater. Batteries are subjected to sub-zero temperatures. The whole electrical nervous system of the new car is engineered to make it ultra-efficient. Accessories like lamp devices are extremely important, for they involve safety. Requirements differ in various states, and our new designs have to conform with both these and federal laws. These lights are the last word in functional design. Well, you're beginning to see for yourself that creating a new car is a pretty complex proposition.
Behind the creation of any new car lies research. Here, we're working out a problem in heat transfer. We have a new idea for a radiator that will need less critical material and be more effective. We speak the language of mathematics, but these complicated equations help us to find new and better ways of making things. Here's an exhibit showing the difference between a standard type radiator and a new one we designed, using a horizontal baffle in the top tank. We've pioneered the field in this development. This long-snouted affair is a radiator wind tunnel we use to measure heat dissipation and airflow resistance. This is another type of wind tunnel used to simulate air resistance at various driving speeds. Part of our business and research is to keep looking for better ways of testing things. We've developed wonderfully precise equipment for these tests, like this carburetor flow stand, and it pays off. Because the more we know about how things work, the better able we are to improve them. Our data will be passed along to the engine designers. Not only human, but mechanical brains will help them in working out their experimental designs. Another section of research is devoted entirely to studies of lubrication. And here again, nothing ever comes to a standstill. Lubricants are continually being improved, designs are being changed, and our work never ends. How far in the future is research working? Sorry, we can't show you right now, but I think we can safely say that our horizons are unlimited.
Meanwhile, month after month in this huge skylighted room, hundreds of brains are fusing their creative efforts into one tremendous total, the car itself. Thousands of parts are being designed simultaneously, and each draftsman carries his share of the responsibility. Some work on automatic transmissions. Still others design the various parts of the powerful engine. And now the final specifications are transferred full size onto a sheet of aluminum. Templates are formed, patterns for the work to follow. The long period of planning and design has finally come to an end.
Now we're going to make that car. We're going to build the whole thing like a custom-made job. Expert craftsmen carve the wooden models from which new dies will be made. Slowly, carefully, each piece is formed. Later, machines will stamp out the metal, but first, men must originate the shapes for the machines to use. After the pieces have been finished, they're checked and rechecked, down to the last 10,000th of an inch. We speak very casually of that modern commonplace, the automobile, but this is how it gets made. A prototype first, painstakingly built by hand. The wooden assembled to make sure they fit. Now the machines take over, and the new shapes we've designed are translated into terms of steel. special dies stamp out the parts. Now begins the assembly of this individual prototype or pilot model. The body sections are locked in place. They're welded together. Here it comes. Already you can begin to see how it will look. Is it right? Every measurement is checked and rechecked. It has taken us more than 2 years to get this far, and we don't want anything to go wrong now. On goes the paint, mixed to match the exact color chosen by the stylists. Pre-tested and retested to make sure it will stand up in any kind of weather. Here's the upholstery and trim, so carefully selected by interior styling. Meanwhile, the finishing touches are being put on the new engine. What began as a dream in the minds of men has become a beautifully wrought mechanism of steel, a superb instrument of tremendous power that can be controlled by the lightest touch of a foot on a pedal. Every part has been made with incredible precision. Every demand made by the exacting blueprint has been fulfilled. Assembled, finished, the engine is mounted onto the frame and made secure. The body is lowered onto the chassis. The many parts that go to make up a car are almost fused together now. Every part has been perfectly made, and so all the parts fit together. The fenders and grille are swung into place. It's finished. But few people could afford to buy this pilot model, even at cost, because it would run into many, many thousands of dollars.
All right, you've spent years designing and developing a new car. Now we're going to see how it performs. You see this testing equipment? We're going to use all of it, and a lot more besides. We're going to give that car a beating like you've never seen any car take, and see if it stands up. Here come the cars of the test fleet. Every one a prototype, built the way you saw. They look beautiful. But looks aren't enough. It's the performance that counts. We take them out on the test track and open them up. Plenty of speed, plenty of power. Holds the road, rides smooth, steers easy. Nice car. But wait, we're just starting. Let's try this in high. Well, what do you know? Made it without a quiver. We tested on the track. They tested in the lab. Got bumps in your road? I bet you we got more than you have. Inside the lab, they manufactured the bumps. It's like driving over a corduroy road built of logs. But they got no mercy. They watch it, listen to it, even put a stroboscope on it to see if anything's going haywire. Now we make believe it's spring in the wide open spaces, or no road at all. And inside the lab, they try to break every spring in the car. Here's a look. In the lab, they make it a rainy Monday. Trucks get it too. Everything we make gets it. It could rain 40 days and 40 nights and it still wouldn't faze this tractor. Yes, sir. Let it rain. A good car has to be good all year round. It has to perform in ice and snow or any other kind of weather. When the boys in the lab say cold, they really mean it. 60 below zero. You may not believe it, but they can start the motor on this frozen car and drive it right out onto the track. "50,000 miles we drive this car the way you've seen. And not only on the track, on roads all over the country. And at the end of 50,000 miles, we take the whole car to pieces and see what happened to every part. There are more than 12,000 of them.
First, the parts are photographed and weighed. Then they go to the measuring lab, where they have instruments that can measure down to millionths of an inch. Helical and involute gear measuring machines examine the gears for wear and tear. Any imperfections are discovered by especially developed precision instruments like this cylinder bore contour gauge. Everything from pistons down to the smallest screw is minutely inspected. But the 50,000-mile road and track test is only part of the testing story. The laboratories are determined to discover the extreme limits of endurance in this car. For instance, they take the engine into a dynamometer test cell. They run it 10,000 miles with the throttle wide open. They watch the results on their instrument panels, just like doctors watching cardiographs of a human. Bumpers are banged in simulated collisions. Tireless machines slam trunks. Test the locks on doors by opening and closing them thousands of times. Glove compartments get the same treatment. Seat cushions get sat on by posteriors of steel. Hour after hour, frames and bumpers are vibrated to make sure they will not develop birdies or rattles. The car is twisted, tortured by torsion, and the effects of the strain are noted at every point. This machine manufactures dust used in testing new types of air cleaners and oil filters. Even the dust particles are weighed and graded for size. Air leakage tests are made on every joint and fitting. You see, what we're after is perfection. And here it is, the car that has survived all of these grueling tests. Now let's mass produce it.
Out go the blueprints. Blueprints and specifications to production for tooling. Blueprints to more than 6,000 supplier companies who will produce many of the parts. Blueprints to quality control so they can prepare their inspection gauges. Blueprints to every division in the plant.
Now all the facilities of the huge plant begin to move in one gigantic coordinated effort. Well over $100 million have been spent to make ready for production the company's completely new car models. And a miracle is in the making. This multi-million-dollar car begins to roll off the assembly lines at a price so low that millions can afford it. This is the modern mass production system that Henry Ford pioneered, a system that revolutionized industry all over the world. Over the years, it has brought the people of America more and more finely engineered cars, and it will continue to do so. For our engineers keep forging steadily ahead into the future. Out of this new research center, out of the laboratories and studios will come better materials, better methods, and all-around better product. The cars of today astonish people who remember the not far distant past. There are those who say the future is an unpredictable thing over which we have no control. But we do not accept this. We believe that tomorrow is whatever men make it, and that every today will be better than the one before.